Hello once again, welcome to this DVD presentation on factorization. We're going to take you through the different types of factorization, and I just have to remind you that this DVD is suitable for grade 9 upwards, and if you're watching this DVD, make sure that you watch one type of factorization and then do the exercise and then switch off and take a break and come back maybe after half an hour or 1 hour to learn another section. Or preferably, you should learn one type of factorization on one day and then another type on another day. Alright, so let's get cracking. There are 5 different types of factorization that we're going to do. So let's start with the first one, which is called removal of common factors. Alright, removal of common factors. So let's take an example like this. Let's take an example. Number 1, 2 minus 6x. Now you want to factorize this. So if you want to factorize this and remove the common factor, then you study the numbers carefully. Well, actually you have to study the numbers and the letters. In this case, the numbers only make a difference. Therefore, I'm studying the numbers carefully, and I can see that 2 can divide here and 2 can divide here, and 2 is the biggest possible number that can divide here. Therefore, the common factor is 2. Now, remember, very important, what do we do with a common factor? We divide with the common factor. It's very important to remember that we divide. So once we've written the common factor down here, we divide 2 by 2, we get 1. We divide minus 6x by 2, and we get minus 3x. So here are the factors for 2 minus 6x. And the common factor was 2. Alright. Now, if you multiply this out, you will get this. So if you want to test whether your answer is right, do products on that, and then you will get this answer. If you get this answer, you know your factorization is correct. So in this case, the common factor is a number. Let's do number 2. Number 2, minus x minus y. Now when you study this example very carefully, you will see that there's no numbers here, but really the number is understood. So the number is minus 1. Really the number is understood. The number is really minus 1. So what is the common factor here? Minus 1. Once again, what do we do with the common factor? We divide. So you divide minus 1x by minus 1, you get plus x. You divide minus 1y by minus 1, what do you get? You get plus y. If I had to actually show it to you, I'm taking minus 1x, I'm dividing it by minus 1. Minus divided by minus gives you plus, and that's how you get x. Well, x over 1 is x. Similarly, we're taking minus 1y, we're dividing it by minus 1. Minus divided by minus is plus, and y over 1 is y, and that's how we got the y. Alright, so in the second example, the common factor was minus 1. Let's look at the third example. X minus xy. So when you study this example, you find the common factor is x because x appears in both terms. So the common factor is x. Once again, you've written the common factor down there. You divide x by x, you get 1. You divide minus xy. You divide minus xy by x. What are you left with? You're left with minus y. So we get minus y. So, common factor 2, common factor minus 1, common factor x. So far you can see the common factor can be a number or a letter. Let's move on to number 4. 10x minus 25y x. So if you study this example carefully, you'll find that for 10 and 25, the common factor is 5. For x and xy, the common factor is x. So in other words, now you've got a common factor that's a number and a letter. So what's going to happen? Remember, the keyword is divide. You're going to divide 10x. So you're dividing 10x by the common factor, which is 5x. 5 divided into 10 2 times. The x's cancel. You're left with 2. So you get 2. Then you're dividing minus 25y x. 25 minus 25y x by 5x. So it's nice to write it down like this so that you can see what's happening. Now minus 25 divided by 5 will give you minus 5, and x will cancel off with x and you're left with y on the top. So you're left with minus 5y. So there's your answer. 5x into 2 minus 5y. Alright, let's look at another example. Number 5. 5 into x plus y plus b into x plus y. Now this time I'm going to write the answer just below it. So when I study this example, I can see clearly that the common factor this time is a bracket. Therefore I have to write the bracket down, x plus y. It was common, I write the bracket down. Now if I divide the first term by x plus y, I'm left with 5. If I divide the second term by x plus y, I'm left with plus b. So there is your final answer, x plus y into 5 plus b. And we're going to do one more, number 6. A into x minus y plus b into y minus x. Now, watch carefully. Watch carefully. You got x minus y, you got y minus x. So the brackets are not the same. So you have to do an extra step here. Leave the first one just like that. A into x minus y. Leave it just like that. Now what you do, take the second bracket. You got y minus x. You write x minus y. I'll repeat. Take the second bracket. You got y minus x. Write x minus y. So you made one change here. Then there's another change, second change. You add plus b, make it minus b. Alright, and now when you have a look, you see you got x minus y, x minus y. So there's your common factor, x minus y. And when I divide a into x minus y by x minus y, I'm left with a. And when I divide minus b into x minus y by the common factor, I'm left with minus b. So, you can see that your common factor could be a number, it could be a letter, it could be a number and a letter, or it could be a bracket, or it could be a bracket like this that needs change. Now when we have brackets like this that needs change, the bracket is given a special name and we call x minus y and y minus x are called inverses. So when you have inverses, you have to make two changes here and then find the common factor. Alright, I'm just going to do one more example and then we will give you an exercise. Alright, here we are at number 6. Now when you study number 6, you've got AD plus DB plus AM plus DM, then you can see clearly that there is a common factor D in the first two. And there is a common factor M in the second two. So what you will do is remove the common factor in the first two only. So here you'll get D into A plus B. And in the second two, you'll have M into A plus D. Right. Now remember how I'm getting this A and this B. I've identified D as a common factor. I divided AD by D, I got A. I divided DB by D, I got B. So it's not I'm just writing things down, but I'm actually doing division and I'm doing it in the head. Right, and now you can see sorry, something wrong. Alright, I'm sorry I made a little mistake here, so let's cancel that and let's start. So number 6 is AB plus DB plus AM plus DM. So there is the correct one we're going to work with. We're going to work with this one. Now, you can see clearly that the common factor is B for the first two, and for the second two, the common factor is M. Okay. So what you do, you remove the common factor B for these two. So there's B into A plus D. And then for the second two, the common factor is M into A plus D. And now we can see clearly that the common factor is A plus D into B plus M. Alright, and so here's your last example, number 7. And please pay very careful attention to number 7. Now watch number 7. 10x cubed y squared minus 20 x squared y to the 5z. Now when you watch number 7, we have numbers and we have powers. So for the numbers, the common factor is 10. Now we got powers. Now I'm going to give you a little tip. For the power, always choose the lowest power. That's a tip. Choose the lowest power. So you can see that x is common. You see, you got x cubed and you got x squared. So the lowest power for these two will be x squared. Then you got y cubed and y5. So the lowest power for these two is also 2. You see? Comparing y2 and y5. So you choose the lowest power. Okay. For the numbers, you choose the highest common factor. For the powers, you choose the lowest power. For y, you choose the lowest power. Right. Once you've done that, you've got to, as usual, divide. So what you're doing, you're dividing 10x cubed y squared by the common factor, which happens to be 10x squared y squared. So 10 divides into 10. Right. Now over here, x cubed divided by x squared will give you, so 10 divided by 10 gave you 1. X cubed divided by x squared gives you x. Y squared divided by y squared cancels off, so you're left with just x. So here we have 1x. Now we're taking the second part. We're taking the second part. The second part is minus 20 x y5z. X squared y5z. That's what the second part is, with the minus sign. And we're going to divide it by the common factor, which is 10 x squared y squared. Now, we are dividing these two. Firstly, minus 20 divided by 10 will give you minus 2. Then x squared will cancel with x squared, nothing left there. Now, y squared and y5 will give you y cubed. And then the z, there's nothing here to divide into z, so z will remain there. So we're left with minus 2y cubed z. So, over here, I write minus 2y cubed z. You know, I did my division on the side there, and I wrote the answer here. So in this particular example, we're saying to you, be careful, there are numbers and there are powers. So take it step by step, and for the powers, choose the lowest power. For the numbers, choose the highest common factor. And it's always wise to do your division on the side like that, so that you know exactly where these answers are coming from, and it also helps you to check your work. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to set you an exercise, and you're going to do an exercise now using all the different types, and let's see how you